What if I told you the money you're waiting for isn't stuck in your bank account or blocked by the economy? It's trapped in your ancestral energy field. Pause for a second. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I truly living my life or just repeating someone else's story? You might not realize it yet, but many of the limits you face, especially around abundance and prosperity, aren't actually yours. They were handed down to you, like an invisible inheritance of scarcity, pain, and survival. Passed from generation to generation, locked not in your DNA, but in your energetic field. It happens so subtly. You grow up watching your parents struggle, your grandparents sacrifice, your family barely getting by. You hear phrases like money doesn't grow on trees or people like us have to work twice as hard. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to carry that story as your own, not because you chose it, but because at some deep unconscious level you felt loyal, yes, loyal, to their suffering, to their struggle, to their limitation. You begin to think, if they couldn't have more, who am I to dream big? If they lived in lack, maybe I should too. If no one before me prospered, maybe I don't deserve to either. Can you relate to that? Have you ever felt guilty for wanting more than your parents had? Do you find yourself sabotaging opportunities without knowing why? Drop a comment below and tell me if you've ever noticed yourself shrinking to fit in with your family story. Because here's the truth. That invisible loyalty is not love. It's not respect. It's a prison disguised as tradition. And the most powerful thing you can do for yourself and for your lineage is to break that pattern, to say, it ends with me. I choose something new. Stick with me, because in this video, we're going deep. You'll understand how your ancestral field holds your prosperity hostage, and more importantly, how to shift that energy and finally open to receive. Before we dive in, if this message is already stirring something inside you, if your soul is whispering, yes, this is what I needed, then make sure to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You were never meant to repeat the past. You were born to transform it. Let's begin. Let's start by understanding something fundamental. Most of what we believe about money isn't actually ours. It was downloaded into us before we even knew how to spell the word abundance. From the moment you were born, you began absorbing the emotional energy of your home. Not just what was said out loud, but what was felt in silence. The fear behind every bill. The shame in asking for help. The tension in conversations about spending. These vibrations shaped your nervous system, your beliefs, and your emotional body. Now here's the twist. Even if your parents never talked about money, you felt what money meant to them. Was it survival? Was it pressure? Was it something people fought over? That emotional frequency became your blueprint, and it goes deeper than just your parents. You carry echoes of your grandparents, great-grandparents, and beyond. Their traumas, their stories of lack, their decisions made under pressure are all stored in what some call the ancestral field. Think of it as a vibrational memory bank, quietly influencing your choices, actions, and even your level of receiving. And guess what? This energy field doesn't respond to logic. It doesn't care if you read a book on wealth or repeat affirmations in the mirror. If your frequency is still tuned into ancestral scarcity, you'll unconsciously block opportunities, undercharge, or never feel worthy of more. So ask yourself right now, what did your family teach you about money without ever saying a word? Did you learn that money is always just enough? That wanting more makes you selfish? That financial success is only for other people? Take a moment, reflect, and write it in the comments. Because when we name it, we begin to reclaim it. You might feel resistance, guilt, even grief. That's okay. It's part of the healing. But let this sink in. Loyalty to your ancestors does not mean reliving their pain. True loyalty is about evolving the story. You can honor their sacrifices and choose abundance. You can love where you came from and break the cycle. You can remember the past without being trapped by it. In the next part, we'll uncover the subtle signs that ancestral scarcity is still active in your energy, and how to gently begin shifting that vibration. But first, if you're still with me, drop in the comments to affirm, I'm ready to set my lineage free. And don't forget to like and subscribe if this is speaking to your soul. You're just getting started. The shift is already happening. Have you ever felt like no matter how much inner work you do, something keeps pulling you back, like a hidden weight, dragging your energy, dimming your light, and shutting the door right when you're about to walk through it? This is what it feels like to live with ancestral scarcity imprinted in your field. But here's the tricky part. It often wears a disguise. It doesn't always show up as dramatic poverty or financial crisis. Sometimes it looks like chronic under-earning, even when you're highly skilled, feeling guilty when you want more than your parents had, sabotaging success the moment it arrives, a subtle but constant fear of spending, avoiding opportunities because you don't feel ready, or always being the one who gives but never receives. Do any of these resonate? Be honest. Share in the comments which ones hit close to home. You're not alone. These patterns are not personality flaws. They're inherited frequencies, vibrations absorbed through generations of survival. Many of our ancestors lived through war, hunger, forced migration, slavery, colonization. Their nervous systems adapted to survive, not to thrive. And you? You inherited the survival code, but now you're being called to install something new. Let me ask you this. Have you ever felt unsafe having more money? Not intellectually, but energetically. Maybe you fear being judged. Maybe it feels like you'd lose connection with your family. Maybe you believe you'd become someone else, someone your ancestors wouldn't recognize. This is how ancestral loyalty operates in the shadows. It tells you, well, you don't shine too much, don't outgrow the tribe, don't break the code. But here's the spiritual truth. You're not here to carry their pain. You're here to transmute it. You are not the wound. You are the healer. And that healing begins by seeing the pattern, feeling it fully, and then choosing differently. Not from rebellion, not from shame, but from love, from the deepest honoring of the souls who came before you. So tell me in the comments, where in your life do you still feel the pull of ancestral scarcity? When we bring it to the surface, we stop letting it run our lives. In the next part, we're going to explore the exact energetic shift that allows you to break free, not only for yourself, but for every generation that comes after. Like, share, and subscribe if this journey is opening something in you. Because this is more than a video, it's a lineage awakening. So now that you see the pattern, how do you break it? How do you stop repeating what was never truly yours? It starts with a radical decision, to no longer vibrate at the frequency of your ancestors' wounds. You are not dishonoring them by choosing abundance. You are honoring their deepest unspoken prayers. Think about it. What do you think your great-grandmother truly wanted for you? What about your grandfather, who worked tirelessly but never got to rest? Do you really believe they wanted you to carry the same struggle? Or is it possible that they endured everything they did so that one day someone like you could be free? You are that someone. But here's the truth. Healing the ancestral field isn't just mindset. It's not about thinking positive or reciting affirmations with a tight throat and clenched jaw. It's vibrational, it's energetic. It happens in the field, where their stories live and yours are being rewritten. So how do you do it? You sit with the energy of scarcity, not with judgment, but with compassion. You witness where it lives in your body. You breathe into it. You speak aloud, "This is not mine. I return it with love." You call your abundance home, not as a rebellion, but as a return to your soul's natural state, expansion, possibility, enoughness. Here's a question. If your ancestors could speak through you right now, what would they say? Would they beg you to stay small, or would they cheer you on as you rise? This is the vibrational shift. When you stop seeking prosperity out of fear or lack, and start embodying it from a place of spiritual truth. Because prosperity isn't just money, it's a frequency of trust, of flow, of divine support, and you're allowed to live in that, even if they didn't, especially because they didn't. You are the bridge. So write this in the comments. I choose to become the vibrational shift for my lineage. Let it be your declaration, because when you shift, everything around you does too. Stay with me. We'll go even deeper into how to anchor this shift in your daily reality, so it's not just a spiritual concept but a lived experience. If this is resonating, pause and hit like, subscribe, and share this with someone who's ready to break the cycle too. Let's awaken together. It's one thing to understand that you carry ancestral energy. It's another to actually shift it, to walk differently, think differently, choose differently every single day. So, how do you make sure this isn't just a beautiful idea you hear and forget? You embody it. You live as if the cycle has already been broken. You wake up and say, "Today I choose to be the one who changes everything." Here's where it gets practical. When you notice scarcity showing up, maybe in your thoughts, your bank account, or your reactions, pause, take a breath. Ask yourself, is this mine or is this inherited? Sometimes what we think is our fear is actually a story passed down. A grandmother who couldn't afford to dream, a father who felt unsafe asking for more. Their experiences live in your nervous system until you tell your body a new story. So, start small. When you receive money, even if it's a small amount, bless it. When you spend, do it with gratitude, not guilt. When you plan for the future, do it from trust, not fear. These tiny shifts send a ripple through the field, and the field responds. Because here's the truth. Energy organizes around your expectation. If you expect struggle, you'll attract circumstances that match it. If you begin to expect expansion, even quietly, everything starts to reorganize in your favor. Ask yourself this: what would someone who feels safe with money do today? How would they walk, speak, set boundaries? Now do that. Even if it feels uncomfortable at first, you're not faking it, you're reclaiming it. You're remembering a truth that was buried by generations of fear. And when you act in alignment with that truth, you become magnetic, not just to money, but to opportunities, people, synchronicities. You become the vibrational leader of your lineage. If this is resonating, write in the comments, "I anchor abundance with every decision I make." And don't forget, subscribe, like, and share this video if it's speaking to your soul. Because the more of us who shift, the easier it becomes for others to follow. Take a deep breath. Let that settle in. You are the one your ancestors were waiting for. Every story of limitation, every belief of not enough, every unspoken rule passed down through your lineage ends with you if you choose. Let's be honest, it's not always easy to carry this awareness. It means you'll feel things others refuse to feel. You'll question things your family accepted as truth. You'll say no more when everyone else says, "That's just how it is." But it's also powerful, because when you shift, everything shifts. Imagine your future children or nieces, nephews, even the people you mentor, living in a field that's no longer heavy with fear. A field that's rich with permission, possibility, and peace. Because you chose to face what was uncomfortable. You chose to turn inherited survival into embodied prosperity. This isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's about noticing when you fall back into old frequencies and lovingly guiding yourself back to truth. The truth is, you are not bound by the past. You are not required to repeat their stories. You are not selfish for wanting more. You are alive in this time, in this body, with this awareness, for a reason. So I ask you, will you choose to be the frequency breaker? Will you declare right here and now, "It ends with me, and abundance begins through me"? If so, drop a comment below. I am the vibrational shift for my entire lineage. Say it, write it, feel it. Because when we speak it, we claim it, and the universe responds. Before you go, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear this message, and subscribe if you haven't already. You're not alone on this path. There are thousands, millions awakening right now. And together, we're not just healing ourselves, we're healing time. Thank you for being part of this moment. You are the turning point. You are the shift. And the best is yet to come.